Okay, so the second piece of this, we're going to do the shoulder mobilizing, but on in an all fours position. So I'm going to have you guys go ahead and roll over onto your back. Now, if you have any kind of wrist concern or injury, you may want to not do this. You could do this on your fist. Jeff, will you show the fist variation? So the palms facing in, the thumbs tucked either in or just tucked over the fingers so they're not in the way. If this is better for your wrist, feel free to do this. Or just not do this variation at all. So the same position, so we're gonna elevate the shoulder. So the shoulder blades are gonna come up into the ears and then down away from the ears. So this is the very first, this is the same first thing that we started with on the back. So you shrug up on the inhale and down on the exhale. And shrug up on the inhale and down on the exhale. Now we haven't talked a whole lot yet about neutral spine. Continue, Jeff, go ahead, keep going. But I want you to just bring your attention for a moment to notice what your low back is doing. So Jeff, if you let your back sag for me. You want to be careful that you don't end up in this kind of position in this all fours exercise. You don't want the low back to be sagging. So if you find that that's the case, just draw your belly in a little bit or tuck the tail a tiny bit so you feel a little more length. So he's still got a natural curve in his low back, but he's giving his low back a little more support. So it's pretty common we get kind of, we're attending to the shoulders and then we forget about what the low back is doing. So just something to be aware of. All right, so you've gone up and down. And now this is a little different. You're gonna actually let the sternum drop down towards the floor so you can see their shoulder blades coming together. And then you're gonna spread the shoulder blades out like you're creating a plateau across the shoulders. If this gets a little round, that's fine. We're just trying to get the shoulder blades to move. So let the sternum drop down, the shoulder blades come together, and then pull the shoulder blades apart. And we'll do that a few more times. Drop down and pull apart. Now what's nice is if the neck is in a long position, so Jeff and Gloria are both doing a beautiful job of that. If the head is lifted and long on top of the neck as Jeff's is and as Gloria's is, you will feel less tension in the neck and the top of the shoulders. So if you start to get overly tense or aggravated here, notice the position of your head. And you want to lift the chin up a little bit and feel like right here at this is the occiput, the base of the head, is lifting a little towards the ceiling, like you had puppet strings attached. And then let's take this into a full circle. So shrug shoulders to the ears, and then collapse the sternum. Shoulder blades draw down, and then you widen. So you go up to the ears, drop the sternum, slide the shoulder blades down, and then create that plateau. And what I always tell students is if breaking it down feels too daunting or too overwhelming, just let the movement happen. So just circle the shoulders and make it feel really good. Most of us are not used to moving the shoulders this way. Go ahead and change the directions. There you go. And the other thing is to connect the breath with the movement, but if you start to get distracted or confused by the breathing, just breathe comfortably, just breathe naturally. The coordination of the breath and the movement comes in time. All right, and then bring yourself back to a long, neutral, stable position. So that's your shoulder mobilizing, lying down on your back and in your all fours position.